Hello, this is Mark Stuart with FreeSanDiegoSearch.com and Prudential California Realty in La Jolla, California. And today I want to talk a little bit about the concept of gross rent multiplier. It's something you see a lot with investment property, income property to be more specific. And just want to talk a little bit about how this is the first thing I look at when analyzing income properties for clients of mine. The gross rent multiplier is essentially a way to get an estimate of a property's value based upon gross income. So let's just run through a little bit of an example. There was a condo townhome in Pacific Beach, California, 92109 that just went pending today. And this one was on Hornblende Street in Pacific Beach. You'll see it was a 3-bedroom townhome, and the purchase price was $449. And 20% down payment on that would be about $90,000, and other acquisition costs will just do $2,000. That really doesn't have to do with gross rent multiplier, but we'll see how this helps out with this spreadsheet. This is a spreadsheet I use for my own investment properties and for clients. The monthly rent on this particular property is $3,200 a month. That will populate here to a potential annual income of $38,400. So here's our potential annual income. Furthermore, a little bit further down the spreadsheet, you will see I have some management expenses, maintenance, insurance expenses, all those things. When we're talking gross rent multiplier, none of that stuff matters. All we're dealing with is gross potential income, the total potential income. That's the only number we're talking about. And then you take that number and multiply by gross rent multiplier will get you this number. Or you can look at it the other way. You can take the purchase price divided by the gross potential annual income, and you will then get the gross rent multiplier. Now, how does this number help you determine the value of a building in a particular area? Now, when you know the area very well, you understand that each area has its own gross rent multiplier. In La Jolla, it's around 14.8 to 15. In Pacific Beach, generally properties gross rent multiplier is around 12.8 to 13. In North Park, it's around 10.5 to 11. So different areas have different gross rent multipliers, and they're mostly based upon the desirability of the neighborhood and vacancy rates and the quality of the tenants that each area generally get. So each area is slightly different when it comes to gross rent multipliers. What makes this particular deal so good, and this was my deal of the month this month, it sold in 4 days after I posted it in our newsletter, is because the gross rent multiplier happens to be 11.69 on this particular property, when in fact in most Pacific Beach properties you're going to find a gross rent multiplier around 12.8 to 13 like we talked about earlier. So this one is priced about 10% below market value. Scroll down a little bit further, actually with 20% down with maintenance, insurance, management fees, vacancy, credit loss, all of these other things. See, it produces a positive cash flow with only 20% down. So if an owner purchased it, lived in it for a while, they're already going to have positive cash flow if they would choose to move out and rent it and do something else. What makes this, again, such a great deal. So gross rent multiplier, just to review, gross potential income divided into the purchase price. Or you take the area gross rent multiplier, multiply it by the gross potential income, and then you get the value that way. A couple things to consider also. It does not include any expenses. It does not include future potential rents. It only is the gross potential income of this year. It's a real simple method, and it's the first thing I look at every single time I do investment property. Again, it's Mark Stewart with Prudential California Realty. If you're looking for income property in UTC, La Jolla, North Park, Pacific Beach, Carmel Valley, give me a call. It's an area of the business I really enjoy working in. My number is 858-454-8519, or visit FreeSanDiegoSearch.com. Have a great day.